with under 6 players, we just go as far as 4. And we start out by asking how many parts of the foot have it. And like through U6, you said, well, I've got 1 foot. Actually, you've got 2, so that would be the first mistake. See, I've got 1 part to my foot. Well, really? How many sides then? So all that tells me is that what I've asked wasn't the right question. And I need to now guide you to the answer that or closer to the answer that I'm looking for. How many sides do you have? Somebody says I have an outside, somebody said I have an inside. Nobody was coming forward with top and bottom, so a prompt from me. Yeah? So getting you to figure out how many parts of the foot that you have, and then showing you something that was really quite complicated, and then putting it to music to try to get it implanted and imprinted in the mind about using different surfaces of the foot. But I never used that term, different surfaces. I'm just trying to get you to use different parts of the foot to manipulate the ball in a different way. So the question was, is it appropriate for U6s? So what do we think about that?
Yeah. Yes.
You'll see this afternoon. What I can assure you, because again, we've done it with under 6s, so we do know it works up to 4 surfaces. Beyond 4 is a bit much. But you will have at least 1 child who will not do it at all. It is like, I don't understand what I'm doing here. I don't know who all these people are looking at me. And I for sure don't understand the word that this guy, the coach, has just said to me. I am shutting down. So that's a visual for you, that you have to get closer and deeper in with that child to figure out what's going on with them and how you can get them to be engaged in the activity. So there's a lot of reasons that we like to do it, but there are a lot of question marks over whether it is really developmentally appropriate. We've done it, we've got away with it, but there are for sure things that are going on with the different players. Some of them get into it, and some of them don't get into it at all. And so it's your job to recognise that and realise, have either gone over the head, so you need to tone it back down, or is there something else you can do to get that child involved? Now maybe it's taking somebody who's quite proficient at it and going, hey, can you go and help her? Can you go and show her how to do it because she's really struggling? And then you can start to develop that kind of relationship between the players, because initially they are freaking out. It's one of the craziest things in all of youth soccer anywhere, that I can come into your practice session, I can work with your players, and they will do everything I ask them to do without question. They won't say, who are you, why are you here, why are you telling us to do this stuff? They'll just accept the situation for what it is. This person is now telling me what to do with the soccer ball, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So you have to understand the dynamics of what's going on there, and then more importantly, understand the dynamics of what's going on within the child. So the 4 surfaces, give it a try, see what you think. I'm not 100% convinced that it is appropriate, because there's a lot of information there for a 6-year-old to try to absorb. There's a lot. Again, we've done it to a degree of success, and it seems to work. When we put it to music, it seems to work better. It just seems to work better. So we went from there, we went to red light, green light. What do we think of that? Yeah?
Visual add in.
Yeah, that's important for me. Yes. So we started out by getting them to use the different surfaces of the foot before we put them into an activity, and I actually should have gone to paint the field before I went to red light, green light. I just got a little bit ahead of myself. It really didn't matter in the greater scheme of things. Going backwards a step based on the lesson plan was actually just being a bit more free play with the paint the field. But red light, green light, I think it's important to get the visual of getting the heads up and getting them to come up with solutions. I hold up all of the lights. What the heck does that mean? It means the lights are broke. Well, when the lights are broke, what's the best thing to do? Either go and get your car repaired or go and get the lights repaired, but get off the road because it's not safe. And that is just an effort to get people to turn and go to a different destination. So we you've got red light, green light, yellow light, any colour light that you have available. Hold them all up at once and let them figure out a solution. I mean, what came to my mind was Christmas lights. Well, what happens at Christmas? Well, you get presents. Yeah, so you're happy. Yeah, and you started dancing. Yeah, I'm thinking, well, yeah, that plays right into my mindset. I like that. So, red light, green light. We like that. Appropriate. Any guided question in there? Was there any? How do you avoid hitting other people?
The beep beep.
Yeah, the beep beep. What else? Other ways to stop the ball. Yeah, because initially everybody's using bottom of the foot. Yeah, mostly because you're ingrained in outside inside laces stop. Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. So it just shows you some transference taking place. But then asking if is there any other part of the foot that you can use to stop the ball. So we've got an outside, we've got an inside, and then ask them to demo it. Well, can you show us what you mean by that? Not just say outside of the foot, okay, everybody do it. Let's have a demonstration of it by one of the players to see if they can actually do it. And then we went to paint the field. What do we think of that one?
Good. I like the house aspect.
Yeah. Putting different destinations in helps. Yeah, and then different commands. Go and paint each of the houses. Go and paint one house. Go and paint the field. Paint a line between the houses. Maybe build a road between the houses. Whatever you can come up with, whatever imagination stuff. Yeah. And that's the objective. That really is. Then getting them to write the name. We didn't go to shapes, but I think you got the idea. Then we went to Sharks and Minnows. What do you think of that game? What happens in Sharks and Minnows? Well, you get crunched, Johnny, because nobody likes you. nobody likes people showboating, Johnny. I do. I pay and come and see you play. It's all good. It's all good. So Sharks and Minnows. So what have you got going on there? You've got some 1 versus 1. Yeah? You've got some scheming because some of you are going to take off and try and burst through and be the first one across, and others are going to bide the time and figure out, all the sharks are occupied, now is a good time for me to sneak across. So there's a lot of good things going on with the game outside of the actual manipulating the ball with your foot to get to a destination. Oh, and by the way, try and avoid the sharks in the middle. So there's a lot of other stuff going on apart from just the sharks and the minnows aspect of it.